Hello and welcome back to more The Song of Saya. Or if you prefer the original name, Saya no Uta. We are going to go ahead and start with episode 3. So buckle up and enjoy as we continue from where we last left off. Load it up. When she arrives at the Sakisaka house, Omi first takes a deep breath to calm herself. Her anger does not vanish entirely, of course, but at least now she can hear herself think. While waiting for a response from the intercom, she looks over the patch of yard that she can see from outside the gate. Even Omi isn't normally one to complain about other people's housekeeping, but this is going too far. The grass is growing wild, and there are piles of dead leaves scattered everywhere. It doesn't just look unintended. It looks like an uninhabited ruin. It's still light out, but every window has its storm shutters tightly sealed. Shield? Yes. Omi guesses that they have been closed since morning. What kind of life is Fuminori leading? Even if he's living alone, he can't neglect his housework forever. Another point to my theory, which I did explain in the last video, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, the playlist link is in the description box down below, so go ahead and check that out. Another point to my theory is that if she is real and if she is living in this house alongside him, why isn't she going outside to do a little housekeeping around the area and to make it look a little neat? You know what I mean? That's why I'm thinking. It's all in his head. Like a little parasite that's making itself seem real to him in his head. Anyways, I digress. Again, if you want to hear my theory, go ahead and check it out in the previous episode. Anyways, we continue. And is it just her imagination, or does something stink like rotten meat? It couldn't be coming from the yard, could it? Uh-oh. Okay. What? Rotten meat. Okay. There's still no response, so she presses the buzzer a second time. And a third. And a fourth. Finally, after this has gone on for over 10 minutes, Omi loses her patience and opens the cover of the intercom. As she expected, the power has been disconnected. Oh. Perhaps Fuminori has a good reason for shutting out the real world, but Omi can only see it as a lack of respect for others. Her anger rekindled. She pushes the gate open and stomps through the yard to the front door. Okay, well. Alright. Given the state of his intercom, she doubts that Fuminori will respond to a knock, so Omi decides to just open the door and go in shouting. And if the door is locked, she will just have to... Well, surprisingly, the doorknob turns easily in her hand, and the enraged Omi finds herself throwing the door open wider than she intended. So it was unlocked. Okay. Oh. What was the button again? Space? Yes. Cool. I like the art. So good. Even the reflection. So good, man. Okay, anyways. Her nostrils are instantly assaulted by a choking stench. What the hell? There's no way there's dead bodies in here, right? Because the parents died in a car crash. So it's not that. Maybe he's... Oh, maybe he hasn't been throwing out the trash, right? Oh, maybe he has mountains of trash bags just lying everywhere, man. Oh, that would do it. Yeah. Alright. Mouse? There we go. My mouse is dying! Please, I need a new one! I've been complaining about this for a few weeks now. I'm poor! I got bills to pay, man. I don't have a luxury life. As Omi stands petrified on the threshold, the cowbell hanging on the inside of the door chimes loudly. A moment later, what? Welcome home. Omi can't believe her ears. The voice she just heard could not have been human, yet its intonations were too complex for any animal he can imagine. By the way, I'm just noticing there's no music playing in the background, so it's making me even more creeped out than I should be. Is someone there? He calls out to the end of the hallway from which the voice came. There's no response. Instead, she hears the sound of something soft and wet flopping its way deeper into the house. Okay. So my theory was partially right. It is all in his head, but it's not a parasite in his head. It's... what the fuck? Finding it difficult... oh, well, there goes the music. Finding it difficult to place a meaningful image to the voice she just heard. Omi stares blankly at the empty vestibule? Huh. I never once saw this word before, but I think I got it right. There's nothing there, not even Fuminori's shoes, which can only mean that he's still outside somewheres, wearing them. Well, yeah, I would assume so. The house should be empty, but then what was that voice just now? Her anger has vanished as if it were never there. Nevertheless, Omi sets foot into the hallway, leaving the door open so that the cowbell won't ring again. The floor creaks, setting her nerves on edge. Omi isn't sure why he's acting like a burglar, but something tells her to make as little noise as possible. The potency of the stink inside the house makes the whiff she caught outside pale in comparison. It's sickening, like rotten fish guts. Has food been left to spoil in the kitchen? She hears a bubbling sound up ahead. Stepping gingerly on the cracking floorboards, Omi makes her way to the end of the hallway. She finds rooms to both sides of her, one lit, the other dark, and chooses to look into the lit room. It's the kitchen, lit by what must be the only window in the house not covered by a storm shutter. The sound she heard was the pot boiling on the stove, and on the chopping board next to it lie a butcher's knife and some half-diced carrots. A perfectly normal household scene, with the light of the setting sun making everything the color of decomposing fruit. Something is wrong. Who was cooking here? And where did they go? Is anyone here? Omi calls, regretting it immediately when she realizes that her voice is shaking. As her words echo vainly through the silent house, she begins to feel foolish and defenseless. Suddenly, she feels something cold seeping through her pantyhose. What the fuck? She timidly reaches down to touch her feet. Her fingertips come away covered with a viscous olive green slime, like the filthy water from a tank, long clogged with algae and dead fish. What the fuck are these words mixed together, man? The whole floor is covered with it. It must be the source of the stench. What the fuck? Omi now wishes that she had worn her shoes inside. Manners be damned. Oh? Okay. When she looks back, ruefully, the way she came, she realizes that her current position is not visible from the entrance. This kitchen must be where that strange voice came from. Oh. The next room is probably the den. As she expected from the closed storm shutters, it's pitch black inside. Omi wants nothing more than to flee from this house. But that would mean turning her back to the darkness. And that she simply cannot bring herself to do. Oh. Moved by some irrational compulsion, Omi sets foot into the den. It is too dark to see anything, and the stink is far worse than before. She slides her hand along the wall, feeling for the light switch. Finding it sooner than she expected, she flips it on like it's her last hope. Was that supposed to scare me? The colors! The colors! So many colors. The purple of entrails, the brown of rotten meat, the crimson of flesh, blood, the yellow of fat. These colors, the more that cannot be described, cover every inch of the room in maddening array. The colors say all that needs to be said about the painter's hatred, malice, and insanity. Omi's legs give out from the shock, sending her to the floor. Slime immediately soaks through her jeans. Pantyhose under jeans. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. It's cold tendrils creeping up her legs, crotch, and okay, well, did you have to? Okay, you know what? Her neck. Wait, what? Her hands fly to her neck, where it is greeted by another drop of chilly slime. Above her, something is dripping down on her head. Okay. Eyeball! Making perhaps the worst decision of her life, Omi looks up. The predator clinging to the ceiling, poised to leap upon its prey. She sees it in every detail. Oh. Okay. Okay. Her mouth and nose are sealed before she can scream, and her belly is torn open as something enters to feast on her innards. But by the time she feels any of this, Omi has already gone mad. Okay. Perfect. I bit the bullet and tried to take the train, but the rush hour crowds were so bad that I had to get off halfway and walk. I'm running pretty late. Is Saya worried? I hope she's not mad. When I enter the yard, I realize that the front door has been left wide open. Light from the living room is seeping out into the hallway, and I hear what sounds like someone smacking their lips. There's also a tantalizing fragrance in the air. Is it Saya? I consider calling out to her, but decide to enter in silence instead. Something smells strange. Though not unpleasant, the aroma is quite soothing. In fact, it reminds me of Saya's hair. At first, I am surprised by what I see in the living room. The floor is covered with what looks to be some kind of grass, probably the source of the herb-like smell. And there are fruit or vegetable-like balls of varying size scattered everywhere. I don't know. No. 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 Is he seeing... This is what he's seeing, but it's actually Omi's corpse on the ground, right? Like, maybe one of the fruits or vegetable-like balls is like her head and her hands chopped up, or her innards, and I oh my god, no. And the grass-like stuff is like her blood just spilling out all over the place. In the clothes. Oh no. That's fucked up. Okay. That's clearly an intestine that she's carrying in her hand. Bro. Look at the shape of it. It's clearly an intestine. Bro. What the fuck? It's like reversed. In his eyes, she's normal, but in everyone else's eyes, she's like a slime blob. Oh my god. Saya turns around, her eyes wide with surprise. She then looks away, sheepish. What? Okay. You know what? Forget it. Sheepishly. Like a child caught at some prank. Okay. This is... The fact that we get to see both sides of this, and now we're seeing his side and what we just saw transpire, it's gross, man. It's... The fact that we know both sides. It's... Wow. Jesus Christ. Bro, what the fuck? What are you eating? This is, well... She stammers, so flustered that I suddenly feel bad for sneaking up on her. Remembering that she has never eaten in front of me before, I realize that she must be quite embarrassed. Oh, so that's why she eats humans. Fantastic. No. Oh god. Well, folks, here we are introduced into some cannibalism. Please tell him no. She's not. I know she's not. She's gonna share. He's gonna eat. I'm actually nauseous. I'm gonna fucking throw up. I scoop up the... I can't. I fucking can't. Bro, what the fuck? Why did they show us that and then... Oh my god, sick fucks. I scoop up the closest fruit thing and pop it into my mouth, ignoring Saya's attempt to wave me off. Oh my gosh, she did try to stop him, but nope. Okay, he just... Okay. Please tell me he learns this later on, that he actually tasted some human delicious flesh. I assume delicious because, well, he's not throwing it back up. And his senses are all over the place, like reversed. So whatever he finds nasty, he likes. Right? I would assume. It was a straight... Do the sound effects need to be okay. It was a strange texture. Soft and... Lobbable. I don't like it. I don't like a peach or pear. When I bite into it with my back teeth, a succulent juice fills my... That's blood. Fills my mouth, combined with a sharp, strong fragrance. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted. Do not fucking say it. Don't you fucking dare. No. Oh my god. Well. His brain is so fucked up that now he likes human meat. Jesus. It wasn't hard. I just took it apart and melted it a little to make it easier to eat. It's practically raw. Yeah. I wish the word raw was in bold fucking letters. Capitalized bold letters. It's certainly raw. I pick up a different lump. This one consisting of fruity flesh around a hard core. Fruity flesh around a hard core. The head? The sound effects are not needed. Are you kidding me? Bro. I'm actually getting nauseous. I am actually getting nauseous. Tearing a chunk off in my mouth, I find that it has a similar taste to the last one. Well, yeah, it's not going to taste any different because guess what? It's still human meat. Tell him, please, please, please. That's your friend, Omi. Hey, are you okay? That's a... Yeah, even I can eat this. In fact, it's good. Really? At first, Asaya looks dumbstruck. But then she bursts out laughing. Yeah, I wonder why. Fucking Christ. So this is what you like. Now I feel stupid for going to all that trouble. Oh, great. Now she knows what he likes, and now she's okay. Alright. Is this what you always eat, Saya? Yeah, though it's been a while since I've had one so big. I usually catch them in the nearby... Upgrading from animals to humans. Oh my god. Oh god. There's an impressive nature preserve not too far from here. I've never heard about fruits like these growing there. You're a dumb bitch. But, well, of course, they only look like fruits to me. They are really something else. Yeah, they really are! Sorry, I already ate the best parts. Oh yeah? Let me guess. The heart? The liver? Kidney, perhaps? That's okay, there's always next time, and now we can eat together. Oh god damn it. I am so disturbed. Yeah. Saya seems really happy. I'm happy too, of course. Eating with someone is much more fun than eating alone, and it makes the food taste better too. There's still plenty left. It will keep chilled for 2 or 3 days, though it won't taste as good. Oh yeah, fresh meat is always better. Fresh, oh God, fucking Christ, please. Help. Then we'd better start putting it away. Sealing the small fruits in Tupperware, and the large ones in pots and bowls. Saya and I store the remaining food in the refrigerator. Thinking of tomorrow's dinner fills me with anticipation. My God. I feel that little by little I'm starting to regain the joy of living. If only you knew. Saya will guide me. With her, I can live on. No. True Scary Stories. Hospital Edition. What? Chapter 4, The Monster in the Hospital. A medical student relates his shocking experiences. Will you believe him or not? Did I save? Oh boy. Strange things started happening at the hospital around the end of last spring. It began with patients waking up in the middle of the night, screaming. They all spoke of terrifying nightmares, and many of them had to be sedated. Some patients even transferred to another hospital because of it. The weird thing was that they'd all had exactly the same dream. A dream about some horribly disgusting monster staring down at them from their beds. Okay. So this is Saya. But the really strange stuff started happening after that. There used to be a lot of stray cats around the campus, looking for scraps from the students. One day the cats suddenly disappeared, and it wasn't that they'd stopped coming. It was more like they'd vanished from the area entirely. I wonder why. And then people stopped walking their dogs around. According to rumors, the dogs were refusing to go anywhere near the school. Smart dogs. Eventually, things started going missing in the hospital. Organs, to be precise. Transplant organs kept disappearing from storage. People came close to losing their jobs over it. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 times that it happened. They tried to keep it from the students. But we heard it was a lot worse than that. Thumbnail material, maybe? I don't know. People started saying that there was something living in the hospital. The janitors would find strange messes that could only have been made in the middle of the night. Traces of something that had crawled down the hallway, or weird stains caused by something dripping through the ceiling. The late shift nurses talked about hearing strange noises on the same nights that patients woke screaming. There's one last story. One you can never mention inside the hospital. One day. How do you say this word again? Obstetrics? Department? Sure. Department went crazy. They said that a newborn had disappeared. Oh no. Jesus Christ. That's horrible. What the actual hell? That should not be allowed in the game, man. Don't touch. Don't. No. Oh, God. They said that a newborn had disappeared in the night. If that were true, the police would have come and it would have been all over the news. But they say the big shots managed to make it all go away. It's just a rumor, of course. Well, yeah, all you have to do is switch out the baby that, you know, that got disappeared with the one that was already, you know, abandoned, per se, and up for orphanage or whatever, you know what I mean? You just do the old switcheroo. Although the parents are going to be very upset with the hospital in the future. Once, you know, blood tests and all that. It's going to be a little bit awkward. These strange incidents suddenly stopped toward the end of summer. Now there are almost no patients complaining at night with the nightmares, and the cats have been started coming back to campus. But still, what happened in the hospital that summer? Even now, just thinking about it gives me the creeps. So that's just some random person telling a random ghost story that's true, basically. That's weird. All right. Oh, well, this with okay. Back here again, huh? Except there's one person missing, and I wonder why. Nothing. This is the third day in a row that they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment. And even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filed a missing persons report. Well, you know her. She will probably just pop up somewhere like nothing happened. I hope so. Yo replies with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her as well. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or Koji. 4 people used to meet in this cafeteria between classes, but now there are only 2. Hey Koji, let's keep thinking. Isn't there somewhere Omi might have gone? You don't have to go looking far, just remember where she was going before she, you know, disappeared. She said she was going to speak to a certain someone. Maybe go to them. Right? Yeah. No. Koji answers evasively. I already checked everywhere. It's a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. Their awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period. Well, I've gotta go. Yeah. Unless Koji is mistaken, Yo is supposed to have class next period too, but she just sits there, staring off into space. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worry Koji, and both problems lead back to the exact same place. What the hell is Fuminori doing? When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he'd seen her was just before she stormed off into, I know I messed up, but I just wanted to try and like, improvise it and continue on, but damn, I failed. Shit! Fuck! Alright, scrap that, scrap. After all, the last time he'd seen her was just before she stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial, and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears. Did Omi even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she'd left, and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way. Koji concluded, or more accurately convinced himself, that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was involved with her disappearance. When questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she'd planned to go after that. You're a dumbass. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he had told the police everything they needed to know. Not wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic. But the conflict has built up inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch sight of his friend's back through the crowd of milling students. Oh shit. Hello? Game? Are you okay? Game? Game? Am I... Okay. I was supposed to click. Why? I don't know. Game? Are you okay? Game! Okay. I thought my game had a heart attack or something. I don't know. It was very weird. Fuminori? At first, Koji assumes that he had headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appears that he had instead gone home. Strange. Medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Though he is initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts only for a second. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Stalking! Fantastic.
Trying to see if he really done it? You don't trust your friend? Your crazy, lunatic friend?
Good call. But also, sorry, I had to take a drink. But also bad call. Because, depending on where this is going, he may end up as food for two certain people. Or not even people. It's weird. I still don't know what the hell she is technically. Like a living fucking parasite that only he can see? Well, not really, because, well, no, she was clearly a living thing living in the hospital, right? But, point being, is that for some reason, only he can see her or it as a human being. It's like everything is reversed for his mind, and it's weird. I still don't know why that is the cause of it. What? It's weird. I'll just say that to round this whole thing that I'm going through, this rant. It's weird. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded the train heading in the opposite direction. Oh, not going home. Interesting. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital. But Fuminori rode straight through the closest state. Oh, okay, so he's not going there either. Where the fuck is he going? Damn, I got some premonition bullshit going on in my brain. I asked that question right before he did. Yeah. At first, Koji felt ashamed for tailing his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's actions grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge would be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Koji is beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. I mean, yes and no. Did he become a cannibal? Yes. Is he aware of it? No. It's a very weird thing going on here, where he doesn't realize that he's turned into a cannibal, but he is one. Fuminori gets off at a small station in the nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. The area is quite desolate, with only a small backstore. Well, not quite. Small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. This neighborhood was carved out of the Fuji foothills, and here and there remain steep inclines and wooded areas that escaped assimilation. Koji is amazed that such a quiet place exists, less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and purposefully through the suburban community, his eyes fixated straight ahead. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. Well, isn't this it? I'm confused. Does Koji not know where he lives? Or did he thought he know where he lives, but I don't know. I'm confused. This is the house that he's living in, right? I'm actually confused. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogwai, it reads. Oh, this is his. Oh, so he's not living. Oh. Okay. Huh. Ogwai, it reads. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it has been abandoned for some time. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogwai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be a sort of house that has a rear exit. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. I should have brought more smokes. That's the one thought that... Okay. Alright. I should have brought more cigarettes. I could really use a smoke right now. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's what my voice would be sounding like if I was a smoker for all these years. Fuck. Don't smoke, kids. 1 hour passes, and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogwai residence. Soon, twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's one pack of cigarettes runs out, Stakeout becomes embattled against a mounting impatience. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and sending her short text messages. But his efforts are futile, as he knew they would be. Hold up a second. I would assume that he recognizes, like, ringtones that phones give out, like the sound of him with his brain being all fucked up that it is. He would be able to recognize what that sounds like, right? Did she not have her phone with her when she went into that house and obviously you know who killed and ate her and whatnot? Unless she got rid of that evidence really quickly before he could notice. I don't know, maybe this Saya creature is a little too smart for her own good. I don't know. It is a little weird. I think there could be some slight, like, loopholes around here, but I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. Oh, so he was just visiting this place. Was he getting something for Saya? Maybe? After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now, investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. Okay. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. After receiving the expected silence and response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. The moment he enters the house, stale air, thick with mold and dust, fills Koji's nostrils. It is the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There's also a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fitted cisterns. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. Koji uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. In the thick dust covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that could only have been made by shoes that belong to Fuminori's. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances. Nothing seems to be missing. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with little more than the clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The calendar in the den is still turned to April. Empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of the life that was once lived there. The house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea. In the graveyard, like quiet, sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one is living here, but that does not have to mean that the owner left. Maybe he was murdered, and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. Koji follows Fuminori's footsteps to the second floor. where he begins to catch the scent of paper in the stale air. It is the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked in the antique bookstore or library. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study. Its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he is able to discern at a glance that this study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond a simple student's understanding, the owner's interests lie more with medical research than with the clinical practice. Fuminori must have spent most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for something, and the contents of that desk drawers are in obvious disarray. A small pile of books, there we go, stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked here. Koji frowns as he examines the 3 books. These aren't scientific texts like the rest, but old, leather-bound Western tomes like the sort you would find in a rare bookstore. The titles are meaningless to him. Plate des Chiffres appears to concern semiotics? But Ars Magna et Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination. And then there's Vainik manuscript, which looks like some sort of picture book. When the that typo? No. Okay, good. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Excuse me for a moment while I take a sip. Lots of reading. Jesus Christ. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that this Ogwai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly noticed the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. And forgot about it, apparently. Alright. With relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the flashlight. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. Because he could have forgot it there, he may realize that he left the pocket-sized flashlight and may return to pick it up before the next train. So we might get a sudden jump scare that he returns. Boy. It's kind of leading towards it. We'll see. His courage restored. Just because of a flashlight? Alright. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Oh no. Koji notices something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. The slime. Dark, oily stains are everywhere. The stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grasped them with hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low on the walls, almost as if a wet mop was run violently across the floor. Could Ogwai have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on a hunch. He discovers 2 empty suitcases. Not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. True. A sudden chill runs through him. Whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. So someone or something murdered him. But there's no trace of body, right? I wonder why. Oh, Saya, you got some explaining to do. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. If he finds a corpse, he will have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first. But if they find the body later, it will be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. True. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. Huh? In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head. Come on, man. A body with slit wrists floating in a bathtub full of water. And wasn't there a movie where a human disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with lye? Acid! Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Booga booga. Bones. Oh! Okay. Well, this is interesting. A mountain of bones, black with dry flesh and blood. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong, he realizes as he tries desperately to get his thoughts in order. The bones are too small, and there are too many of them. Animals. They aren't human, yep. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the tub. The bones are piled atop each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to produce this many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like bodies were just thrown into the tub and left to rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through flesh. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have kept some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet, giving it the bones of small animals to eat and disposing of the remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? It could have just been thrown out with the garbage. Or was there something keeping him from leaving the house? I'm a little confused. Is this not the house that he's staying at currently, or is it? Because everything kind of points to that it is. But as Koji said, this is not where he like, this is not his home. Fuminori's. So is Fuminori staying at Ogwai's place? Well, Saya's place? I don't know. I'm confused. I thought Saya moved into Fuminori's. But I guess Fuminori went to Ogwai's house? But then why didn't... I'm so confused. Okay. The relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones weren't human is once again under attack. In the first place, what the hell was I'm trying to read fast, but that's fucking me even more. Okay. In the first place, what was Fuminori doing here? Okay. What did I say? What the fuck did I say? I called it. I fucking called it. He's gonna show up. Oh boy, I'm taking a sip of my drink. Refreshing. Alright. What's wrong, Koji? Koji whirls around, his light revealing Fuminori's expressionless face. You are trespassing. So are you, Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of the bones. A friend of mine lives here. I'm just running an errand. What? Who is this person? Where did you meet them? Koji doesn't want to believe that the old, friendly Fuminori could have had contact with the denizens of this house. Are you forgetting that he has, he had brain surgery? Bro. I'll introduce you one of these days, he says, turning to leave without even a glance at Koji. I owe her my life. Hey, Fuminori! Koji runs after Fuminori, his heart is finally beating normally again. Wait, is this friend of yours the reason you have been acting so strange? Standing in the entrance, Fuminori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes give Koji pause. You followed me, didn't you? Koji swallows. What can he say? You are starting to bother me, Koji. Don't do it again. Fine. Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend was still at the forefront of his mind. Now, however, that concern is swiftly giving way to a growing sense of dread. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Yes. Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fuminori's skin? No. Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. Oofa. What a nuisance. Why does he insist on interfering? If he only spoke with me to exchange pleasantries, even I could bear it, but now he's sticking his nose into my business just to satisfy his curiosity. Koji is a perfect example of someone who thinks that it's always good to take an interest in other people's affairs. He probably thinks that he's doing me a favor by prying into my life. He couldn't be more wrong. If he keeps this up, I might have to find some way to deal with him. Oofa. Like Saya said, I have to keep my search for Dr. Ogwai a secret. Koji could ruin everything. I didn't have time to fully investigate the Ogwai residence today. At this rate, it will probably take several days just to go through the study. Okay, so oh, okay, I was right. Okay. He's not living here. Okay. Saya didn't believe that I'd find anything to help with the research, but I think there's still a lot to explore. Who knows what I'll discover? The problem is Koji. He knows about the house now. Will he make things difficult? Excuse me. A hair-raising voice calls as I'm about to pass through my gate. Pressing a shutter, I put on a fake smile and turn to face the writhing mess of rotten flesh that is staring at me with bulging eyes.
Good evening. Are you just getting home?
Yes, I am. Of course, this is my next-door neighbor, Suzumi, a middle-aged painter, I think, who spends all day at home while his wife works. I haven't had much contact with him since the accident. Why is he suddenly talking to me now?
Have you gotten used to living alone?
Yes. Thank you for your help.
I know it must be very difficult, but you are still young. You have to try and move on with your life.
Yeah. What is this? Did he stop me just to deliver a lecture?
With such a big house, it must be hard to take care of everything by yourself.
Yes, I suppose it is rather difficult.
Why not hire a caretaker? Didn't your father have one?
I'm still a student. I can't really afford the expense.
I see.
The flesh beast undulates foully, as though it still has something to say. The sight of it is driving me close to the edge.
Even so, don't you think you should at least tend to your yard? I'd be very happy to help.
No, thank you. I'll manage on my own. Now I get it. He's worried that the unsightliness of my house might diminish the image of his own. Damned snobs. I flash a token smile, then retreat behind the safety of my gate. I can feel Suzumi's eyes boring into my back all the way to the front door. Why won't everyone stay out of my life? I just want to live together with Saya, alone where no one will ever bother us. I'm guessing that's, yep, okay.
Okay.
Zumi Yosuke sighs in annoyance as he watches the neighbor boy retreat into his house. What's with his attitude? Even while talking, he kept his eyes averted, as if to avoid looking at something repulsive. Has he always been such an unpleasant young man? No, of course not. When his parents were still alive, he had been a normal youth. A little shy, but sensitive and caring. Must be the stress of his sad situation. If it continues to build, he might start to develop serious mental problems. Or is it too late already? Yosuke wonders as he gazes warily at the Sakisaka yard.
How about you worry about your own yard, you bitch?
Okay, so, wild guess here. The reason why we're seeing these three here is going to be their next meal.
Oh my god! No! There's a little girl there. No! Oh god! Dinner's ready. Oh no!
Even during dinner, Yosuke can't shake the neighboring house from his mind. What's wrong, honey? You look like something's bothering you. Oh, God. Yeah. I saw the young man from next door today.
Fuminori.
Yeah, I just had to say something about his yard. I know, I wish he'd at least do something about that smell. The stink coming from the Sakisaka house grows worse each day.
I wonder why.
And the Suzumi house family, whatever, is at its wit's end. Could there be a dead cat in these bushes? He must have noticed the smell coming from his own yard. Maybe he's leaving his garbage out there? He wouldn't. No, I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows what he's been doing in there all day with the storm shutters closed? What kind of life is he leading?
Did he go crazy? Now, Hiromi, you mustn't say things like that.
Honestly, with the way things are going, I'm starting to wonder if he's gone paranoid or something. Will he be alright? Unless he gets help soon, who knows? I feel bad for these three. Especially the kid, man. Oh god, what's about to happen? I don't like it, no. Why are these three being introduced except to be for DIDNT? DIDNT! Saya, no, please! End your madness! End it now! Okay. The seconds crawl by, each tick of the clock compounding my agony. When I returned from the Ogwai residence, I was greeted by a silent, empty home. Saya had vanished without leaving any clue as to her whereabouts. Okay, so either she's going out hunting right now, rip family, or the reason that we were introduced to the slime being at the Ogwai residence after Fuminori was there, while Koji was there, was because she followed Fuminori and I don't know after that, but it's one of those two definitely. It isn't rare for her to go for walks at night. I have often sorry. I've often gone with her. However, such outings always take place in the middle of the night, when no one is around, and never last for more than 2 hours. Right now, it's 5 in the morning. Soon the sky will begin to show the first light of dawn. Even if she left right before I returned, she's still been gone for almost half a day. I can't sleep. I can only wait in anguish. I tried to distract myself by painting more rooms, but I couldn't concentrate on the work. If I had known this would happen, I would have left the Ogwai house sooner. I wish I hadn't wasted time on Koji. If Saya doesn't return, the thought makes me want to tear out my hair. After its long absence, the terror of true loneliness is too much to bear. At last, the cowbell chimes and Saya's long-awaited "I'm home" rings out from the bottom of the stairs. As I jump out of my bed in relief, all of the stress that has been built up through the night is released in a wave that threatens to sweep me off my feet. So tired. Saya sighs as she climbs the stairs. I knew the trip would be hard. Saya, where have you? The question trails off as I notice the thick bundles of paper that she's carrying under her arms. What are those? Your medical charts and surgery records. I went back to the hospital today. Oh. Saya drops her bundles on the floor, sending papers flying everywhere, then pulls her favorite cushion over and collapses into it, stretching luxuriously. You walked all the way back from the hospital in the middle of the night? Sorry, she says, skillfully gathering the scattered papers together. I meant to come back sooner, but there were so many files to go through. So I decided to just bring everything. It was so heavy. Maybe it's just the exhaustion, but I'm not understanding a word Asaya is saying. What are you planning to do with all of this? What do you mean? I'm going to study, of course. He replies, holding one MRI photograph after another up to the light. I'll have plenty of time to go over it here. At first, I think she's just playing around, but the occasional mutters of, better check this one. Oh, I see. Well, that was silly of them. And the like as she separates photos into a growing pile besides her makes me think that this might not be a joke after all. Do you understand this stuff? I learned a lot from Dad. She flashes me a grin, then returns to the papers. That's how it is. No wonder it can't be fixed. It can't? Not by a human doctor. I can't tell if she's being serious. Even for me, it will probably be tough, she says offhandedly, even as her hands continue to shuffle papers. I'll have to experiment first. Watching more closely, I realize that her eyes are scanning each page rapidly. So rapidly, in fact, that I was unable to notice it at first. Could Saya actually be reading my charts? Hey, Saya? Yeah, she answers coolly, looking up from the charts. I'm tired. Let's go to bed. Sure, Saya replies with a grin. If that's what you want. Saya tosses aside the papers she's... Why? Okay. Tossing is one way to do it, I guess. Saya tosses aside the papers she was sorting, then leaps on me and begins to tear off my... Okay. I know I bought the Steam version, and it's supposed to be censored, but I think I read somewhere that Steam didn't censor everything, so I may have to censor some stuff. Oh boy! Hey! Come on, just once before bed, okay? Oh god, the thought that... Oh no! He doesn't know because his brain's jumbled. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Oh god. Is it worse than cannibalism though? This is so fucking fucked. Okay. Hey Saya, don't you think it's unhealthy to be doing this every day? Every day? Oh boy. Huh? Are you sick? No, not me. My body is all grown up, but you are... She laughs playfully as she pushes me onto the bed, the familiar sweet sensation of her weight and skin rendering me helpless. But I am worried. We haven't used any constant... I can't even say this word. What the hell? Concentration. Fuminori, she whispers, staring straight into my eyes. You don't want me to have your children. Oh, God. Oh, I'm taking a sip of my drink. Okay. My theory that she is a parasite is growing even more forward now. Because parasites are like more instinctual, keen on, you know, reproducing and such, right? They want to grow their numbers. Okay. So this Dr. Ogwai, or quote unquote doctor, this Ogwai person developed some sort of parasite, and I don't know. My theory may be wrong. I don't know. But with each video I upload and record, it's seeming like it could be a possibility that she is a parasite. And for some reason, he can see her as a normal being while seeing everything else as, well, you can see it in the background. Anyways. How can I respond to that? It's not that. Your body is too small. Pregnancy is a serious burden, you know? That's not really something you have to worry about. Leia seems unsure how to reply, but not because she doesn't understand what I said. Rather, the bemused look on her face makes it seem as though I'm the one not getting it. Yeah! I wonder why. But I know you were just thinking of me, she says suddenly, her smile glowing with innocence. I'm so happy. By the time I drift to sleep in exhaustion's comforting embrace, all doubts about Saya's actions have vanished from my mind. Whatever the case, all that matters is that she's returned to me. And we're back to the neighbors. Oh boy. That's not good. This is not good. Oh no. What's about to happen, man? No! DIDNT! Okay. So that was the Song of Saya. Well, part 3 anyways. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. You may have noticed a giant cut in my video here. That's because a lot of awkwardness has happened and I didn't want to put it on my video. So I apologize, but if you want to find out what that scene was, I'm pretty sure someone else was ballsy enough to do it on their own video, or you can experience it yourself. The game is on Steam or other places. Just look it up. There's the uncensored version, which, hey, all the power to you for that. And then there's the uncensored version on Steam. So yeah, take your pick. Oh god, it's weird. Anyways, hopefully you all had fun. We I guess you could say we learned some things, but at the same time, I'm still stumped. Like, I have my theory set. It's already proven half wrong. Half. I still believe she's a parasite that's living in the real world, but for some reason, Fuminori's brain is fucked up to the point where he can only see her as normal. Everything else is that nasty shit. And I think it's because of Dr. Ogwai. I don't know why, though. I hope we get answers to that. And for some reason, it did seem like maybe he may be able to get his brain reversed and normally working again. And then he'll actually see what Saya really is and what he was actually eating. And that, I hope, happens, because I want that scene. I want to see how... I really want his reactions to it, man. I really do. I really want those reactions. It would be so magnificent. Yeah. I hope it works towards that, and I hope it actually happens. I want that. I really do. So yeah. Stick around for the next episode, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, please, as a reminder, stay sinful, folks. Bye-bye.